Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. So glad to see you guys this morning. I'm trying to speak a little quieter this morning because we're out of town and there's people sleeping. So I have to kind of be not really. I am, but I'm not. So I'm not so focused on that. So yes, people, it's Monday morning, July the 31st, and we are in Atlanta once again. And we're down here, we seem to be coming down here quite often anymore. It's a regular trip, so we're going to be down here this week. I'll be doing my, working during the day and then hanging out with family and friends in the afternoon or in the late afternoons and evenings. So, but I hope you guys this week is off to the great start. Today, of course, is the last day of July. And I have to tell you, this has been an amazing month, and I hope that you have been using this month because we've been starting every morning with, in the last 10 days, talking about how July was slipping by and how there's so much opportunity to use it. And I heard a great quote. While we were down here in Atlanta yesterday, we went to a church that we always attend when we're in the area, and the guy who was teaching yesterday was from outside the area. Great guy, great speaker. Ryan Leak was his name, I believe it was. Fantastic. And one of the things he said was the things that you're pushing off, that you say, I'm waiting for this, I'm waiting for that. And he says, what are you waiting for to do what it is that you've been thinking about doing? And he said, you know what? It's a great question. He says, but push the question aside. The question really is, who is waiting for you? Who is waiting for you to step up and step out and do the thing that you keep pushing off and say, oh, when I have the time, oh, when I have this, I want to have that. I am as guilty as ever of doing that stuff. And it's a great question because you'll never know who is waiting for you until you get out there and go. And that's awesome, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of cool when you think about it. So, but that's a great way to start the week yesterday with that message. And on and up we go. So, we hope to get a lot done. So yesterday we were hanging out with some friends that were from back up home in Pennsylvania and a little cookout. And it's kind of weird when you're in Atlanta and you're at somebody's house and you look around and there's, 15 people there and all of them are from back home in Scranton, Pennsylvania area. That's kind of weird. So, but this has quickly become our second home. My wife, of course, as you can see, once again, Airbnb rocks. Like, how can you not do our Airbnb? Like, it's amazing, right? So, let's see. Kevin, what do you got to say? Love Ryan. Just listen to a podcast of his. Yes. If you could, he did that exact message, Kevin. Chasing failure. If you couldn't fail at what you would do, or if you couldn't fail, what would you do? Yes. It's awesome. He also said something very powerful, guys. He said, be today who you dream of being tomorrow. Today. Make it a frame of mind today. Why wait till tomorrow? Do it today mentally. And awesome stuff, man. But anyways, so we're off and running into a new week and the last day of the month of July 2017. And, let's jump right in it, right? I've got some stuff to share with you this morning. So sorry about this weird lighting. I try to set up the best I can in a new environment. But hey, it's not always the best. So to start, good morning, Wes. Good to see you, bud. And Paul and Jess. So here we go. Billboard's top 50 money makers of 2016 list came out. We're not going to do top 50, but I thought it'd be interesting to at least do top 10. So if you think of all the music acts that are out there, all of them, and I don't know which ones come to your mind, that's going to depend on the genre that you listen to and what your history is going all the way back to high school. Because if you're anything like me, when you think about bands that are out there, the ones from high school are the ones that you think of first, not the ones that are like around today. So I don't know if you're the same way. I'm that way. So I think of like Metallica, Megadeth, Nirvana, right? Those are the ones that I think of. So I don't know. But here we go. Number one top 50 moneymaker in the Billboard's top 50 list is actually Beyonce. Beyonce comes in at $62 million earned last year. Number two. Now this one is a surprise, guys. Number two, from my high school days, Guns N' Roses. Can you imagine that they would be ranking number two? The guy was practically like missing. I didn't even know he was still alive. And all of a sudden they're number two on the list. Number three is Bruce Springsteen. High school again. Number four is Drake. Honestly, I don't even know any of his music. Number five, Adele. Okay. Number six is Coldplay. Very good. I like them. Number 7, Justin Bieber's ranking. Number 8 is Luke Bryan. Number 9 is Kanye West. Number 10 is Kenny Chesney. Those are the top 10 money makers in the Billboard's top 50 list. I thought that was pretty crazy. Billy Joel is on there, of course. 21 Pilots is on there. Metallica does rank. Paul McCartney ranks in there. I mean, there's a lot of guys on there, as you would know. So, but those are the top 10. So, great story here. Harvard did a study. Okay, and if I'm losing you guys a little bit, I got a rough connection here, just so you know. So I'm trying my best. But Harvard did this study, guys, on how to live a healthy and happy life. They did this study, though, over the course of 80 years. This is a 80-year-long study that they put together, if you can imagine such a thing. Okay, now, what they did was scientists began tracking the health of 268 Harvard sophomores in 1938. 1938 is when the study started, during the Great Depression, and they hoped that the long study would reveal clues to leading a healthy and happy life. Only 19 are still alive, all in their mid-90s. Eventually, they expanded the research to include the men's offspring, who now number 1,300 and are in their 50s and 60s. So they really did a broad-reaching study on this. The surprising finding, here we go. And think about this, if it's really surprising or not. The surprising finding is that our relationships and how happy we are in our relationships has a powerful influence on our health. Does that really surprise you guys? I mean, they say it's surprising, but really, because you think about unhealthy relationships and the stress that's involved in those. I mean, those are stressful. You know when you're in an unhealthy relationship. Taking care of your body is important, but tending to your relationships is a form of self-care too. Close relationships, more than money or fame, are what keep people happy throughout their lives. Those ties protect people from life's discontents, help to delay mental and physical decline, and are better predictors of long and happy lives than social class, IQ, or even genes. So what does that mean? Make sure that you have good relationships and make sure that you work to keep them healthy. All right? Healthy relationships don't just happen. They take work to put into them. So very important. But last little thing I have here, 4 work-life questions to ask yourself when you have some downtime. Okay? Work-life questions. Oh, delicious. All right, here we go. 4 life work questions to ask yourself. Number 1, stresses and worries aside, am I happy at work? Now, some people, old school, would tell you that you don't have to be happy, just get to work, right? Let your knuckles get bloody, just work. That's what you need to do. You need to work, right? No. Are you happy at work? Take away, every job has its stresses and its worries and concerns and things that aren't the best and things like that. That's going to be everything, right? And I'm not saying all those, okay? That's life. But are you happy? Do you enjoy the work that you're doing, the environment that you put yourself in for a length of time every day? Next question is, where am I headed? Where are you going, right? As far as your work and your life combined, are they moving you in a direction that you want to go? Have you even taken the time to pick where you want to go so that you know if what you're doing is leading in that direction, right? Next is, who don't you know? This is a great question. Who don't you know? There are people that you're surrounding you every day in work and in life, right? That can lead you, help you, know more than you, whatever, to get you to whatever direction you want to go. Who don't you know that you're surrounded by every day that you haven't taken the time to get to know them? In your work, think about where you work and all the people that come in and out of that building or wherever it is, right? And you haven't taken the time to get to know them and see if you have similarities. And last but not least, the 4th question in work life is, what's missing? But there's more to life than the things you do to make your company money. That's a fact, right? There's more to life than the money that you're making. So what's missing? Is there anything missing? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe you've got it figured out, which is great. But what's missing, and identify what that is so you know what to work towards. So, but great 4 work-life questions. Of course, all the links to all these things will be in the show links after the show that you can take. They might be delayed a little bit because my connections are slow, and it might take a minute to upload stuff. But they'll be there, I promise. So, anyways, onward and upward, guys. Google Trends, top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google were, number 1, Rick and Morty Season 3. I don't know what that is. Number 2, Rick and Morty Season 3, Episode 2. 2 Rick and Mortys, first and second. I don't think we've ever seen that before as far as a show, right? Number 3, Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 3. 3 shows have taken the top 3 spots in Google Most Search yesterday. Interesting. Number 4, Adrian Beltre, which is a baseball player. Number 5, Jamie Garcia, baseball player. Number 6, Teen Wolf, another TV show. Number 7, people must have been really bored yesterday or something that they were Googling TV shows, right? Number 7 is Venezuela. Number 8 is Tommy Lauren. Don't know who she is. Number 9 is Barcelona. Great song, Barcelona. Anyways, number 10, Rob Ninkovich, which is president of coaches made Rob at retirement. He was a football player, Ninkovich. Oh, looks like he was a Patriots player. Pats fans, there you go. So it looks like he might have retired possibly. So, but let's go check our trending news, guys, and see what's going on in the world this morning. Top of the trending news is Kabul, Afghanistan. Islamic State claims responsibility for attack on Iraq embassy in Kabul. After that, we have Vladimir Putin. Putin expels 755 diplomats in response to U.S. sanctions. Things are getting rough over there, man, let me tell you. Next, Sergei Ryabkov. Russia warns of further retaliation in response to U.S. sanctions. Next is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones Season 7 just delivered the first major character death, and fans are praising the scene. That is ranking number 4 in trending news, is Game of Thrones. Fascinating. Next, we have Venezuela. Venezuela constitutional vote marred by violence and death. Then we have Justin Wilson. Tigers trade Justin Wilson, Alex Avila to Cubs for prospects. A little baseball action going on. After that, we've got Donald Trump. Trump tells Senate Republicans the world is watching on healthcare. After that, we have Shinzo Abe. China hits back at Trump criticism over North Korea. And last but not least, we have Los Angeles, California. Multiple people injured after van plows into crowd in Los Angeles. Another rogue car going through a crowd, man. That seems to be like, I don't know. Has it always been happening and just never gets covered, or this is now a hot topic? I don't know. I mean, it's like stuff on airplanes. You never heard about anything. Now all of a sudden you hear about all kinds of stuff. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but... Anyways, let's move on over, guys. Let's get ourselves a passage of wisdom this morning, right? So we're flying this morning. We're cruising through stuff, man. Today's passage of wisdom, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. One verse. And it says, Hebrews 12, chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Interesting passage, right? I got to break that down a little bit to wrap my brain around it here. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, okay, so people are watching, right? We're surrounded by a cloud of people who are watching us, right? Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. So let's avoid sin because people are watching us. And let's throw off the things that hinder us. This is kind of trending to what I was just talking about that I heard yesterday. Hang on. So we have we have witnesses, people watching us. We're throwing off the things that hold us back and the sin that can ensnare us. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us on what we were meant to be and meant to do. This is a great passage, guys. I'm getting more fired up as we break it down. This totally goes with what I was telling you that I heard yesterday, right? That what's holding you back, don't worry about that. Who is waiting for you? Move forward, right? Be today who you dream to be tomorrow. This is amazing. People are watching. You can be an inspiration and a light to them and just a motivation to them as they watch you moving forward. Instead of staying still in objects in motion, right? Stay in motion, and you can be that person. This is a great passage. I'm going to have to read this a couple more times today. And the link to this will be in the show links. Probably recommend going and looking at a couple verses after this one, which is what I'm going to do to see even more of the story. But this is great. So, guys, let's pray. Let's get this day started. Good morning, Father. Father, thank you for today, July 31st, the last day of July in 2017. Father, I want to thank you this morning for speakers like Ryan who take the time to put together great material, who study very, very hard and practice what they do so that they can deliver a message of truth and wisdom based on your word and really make an impact on thousands of people who are able to hear that message, just like myself. This morning, as I sit here, I can think about the words that he spoke that came from you and the wisdom that he gave. Father, today give us all the courage to move instead of standing still in fear or hesitation or procrastination. Maybe it's just procrastination. Help us to move forward. Help us to think and put in the forefront of our mind the people who are waiting for us to act, to do whatever it is that's on our mind. And all of us know what that is. Help us to push forward and move through and let nothing hinder us as we work towards what it is that you have created us to be. Father, we thank you for the relationships that you've put into our life, the healthy relationships. Father, if we're in a relationship today that's not super healthy, help me today, help us today, maybe make that one a better, or maybe it's time to cut one of those relationships off. As we've heard today in that Harvard study, that it has a direct relationship with our health and our happiness. If we're an unhealthy person in somebody else's life, help us become better so that we can help them live a healthier and happier life as well. It's not just about weeding out the people in our life that shouldn't be there, but it's about looking at ourselves and seeing if we ourselves are doing the right thing and making a positive impact. Father, we thank you for your wisdom and we love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. So glad you are here for the first morning in Atlanta, Georgia. We will be here all week long, so I look forward to seeing you guys here tomorrow morning. And until tomorrow morning, guys, don't forget to always be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. See you tomorrow.